Now, tonight, my angle is inspired by one Ndindi Nyoro, the Kiharu MP who has been in the news over the ugly scene at the church event in his constituency on Sunday. His arrest and subsequent release without charge has raised many questions. Some of his supporters now claim it is a witch hunt. Indeed, Nyoro himself, speaking here on Citizen TV 2 days ago, asserted as much, that he had been targeted because of his perceived support for the deputy president. It is unclear for me if indeed those claims are true, and of course if they are, that would be terribly regrettable. But that is not my point tonight. You see, in the course of this entire saga, many Kenyans have found it worthwhile to remind the Kiharu MP of some of the not so complimentary comments he made just 2 years ago. They reminded him of how he rubbished democracy and called for the establishment of what he called a benevolent dictatorship in Kenya, whatever that means. They also reminded him of how, at the height of the Supreme Court battle in 2017, he urged the president to suspend the constitution, to annex the judiciary and make it part of his office, and to rule by the fist. And I think these Kenyans with long memories have a point. The point about political hypocrisy in this country, a kind of politics in which where you sit determines where you stand on various issues, forgetting that the prescriptions you make today may just come to bite you tomorrow. Allow me to revisit the works of celebrated American philosopher John Rawls, who is often referred to as the most important political philosopher of the 20th century. Now, Rawls, who has since died, wrote a book in 1971 known as The Theory of Justice, in which he grappled with the question of creating a just and fair society where everyone would feel respected and valued no matter what their station in life was. Now, Rawls asked a simple question: if you were to restart society from scratch, what would that society look like? How would you distribute wealth and power? Would you make everyone equal? How would you define fairness and justice? And here's the big one. What if you had to make all those decisions without knowing who or what you would be in that new society? If you decided that the new society would have men who are more superior than women, then you must face the risk that you could be a woman in that new society. If you decided that 20% of all people in that new society would be slaves, then you stood a chance of finding yourself as a slave in that new society. Now, Kenyan history is replete with examples of overzealous politicians who supported draconian laws only for them to fall victim to the very laws they cheered. Now, I don't want to celebrate Nyoro's current woes, but I'm sure they have given him pause, a time to reflect on his thoughtless comments back then. He represents the constituency of Kenneth Matiba, the man who paid a heavy price, the ultimate price, for his agitation for freedom. Nyoro must never forget that, whether now or in the future. That's my angle.